So what is federal tech transfer? It's just what you think it is, and I suggest you keep it as broad as you can think about it at first and narrow down from there as you understand what your agency thinks about it, what your lab thinks about it. But start broad. It really is that when somebody creates knowledge, where they have facilities, where they have expertise, where they have publications, whatever it is, it's being able to share that with somebody else for a similar purpose or for a totally different purpose. And that's transfer, and it goes back in both directions. So you can see it's between government entities, it's also between government and private sector. And a lot of the big push, and if you read the statutory authorities, really in this between the government and the private sector. It's all about taking these resources that's been paid for by taxpayer dollars, your dollars, my dollars, put into federal R&D. How do you make that available for people to use those? For the economic well-being of the United States, working in a global economy, you know, those type of language. That's what you read in the Green Book. So it really spells out this, if we've got it in the federal government, we really need to be pushing that out for other people to be able to use it. And that's for commercialization as well as for bringing back into the federal labs. So there's two kind of components when you think about tech transfer that most people talk about. And that first one's the commercialization of new products. So that's kind of the standard line of we create something, we push it out for a company to commercialize it by licensing it and then take it to the market. That's kind of like pure tech transfer in the way I define it. This second piece, though, is something that's really come on and it has become pretty much a counterpart to that. It's how do we take these technologies and work with other people so that we can turn around and use those technologies again back in the federal laboratory system. For me and the DoD, that means how do I get some technology that we've done out to the private sector who can make it maybe better, faster, cheaper, and then we buy it as an end product. That's considered very, very successful, and we call that tech transition. So you got transfer kind of going out and transition coming back in. We developed some software. It was a plug-and-play software. I have it as an example at the back of this this actual presentation. We developed software that allowed for. Remember when the USS Cole was bombed? Remember that? As, I guess it's about 10 years ago. Kind of preceded all the other major events. One of the things that was glaring out of that was that we didn't have a lot of defenses near to the ship. So some of the folks at Crane came up with this software and basically took the navigation, took the radar, took non-lethal type things, took other type sensors and platforms on the ship and tied them together into a really nifty software package. Basically took a bunch of independent systems, made a system, and put a single controller inside the ship to man it, and they actually added guns on stabilized mounts, things of that nature. Well, that software became very, very valuable. And so we've patented, we've actually licensed it, but the Army wanted to use it for something else. And so we actually signed an NDA with the company, transferring it to the Army so that they could actually use it in some of their contracts as well. To me, that was a government-to-government type of thing where you can use it across the federal government. So that's one other way. Technical assistance, for us, we actually offer a 32-hour free technical assistance program under a Tech Assist CRADA. I know I have that within the DoD. I do not know if the other agencies have that. But basically, it's an economic development tool. And we have it with different entities. And basically what we can offer, I've actually got one of my Tech Assist CRADA partners in the room with us now. But basically what we can do is if a company comes up that's in our region, and they say, well, we just need to talk to somebody about maybe it's obsolescence of electronics, and we have obsolescence of electronic experts. We can give them up to 32 hours of free support underneath that. So that's one way of providing tech transfer as well. Collaborative R&D, we're going to talk about CRADAs quite a bit more, so hang on with that one. And then the commercial tech transfer for government applications. Example I have going on right now is we're working with a company that does communication gear. They've never sold to the military. What we're going to do under a cooperative agreement is actually look at their technology, help them look at what does it mean to militarize that so we could actually potentially buy it, and provide them basically recommendations that, well, if you're going to work in the DoD, you're going to need these type of connections, you're going to need this type of robustness, things of that nature. So here they're actually transitioning technology in, and we're working with them to do that.